Rahman was living in a small village. His parents had passed away when he was just 10 years old, leaving him to live alone with his dog, Tommy. His father had left him a small piece of land, but despite his efforts at farming, the yield was always minimal, barely enough to survive. Rahman also carried the burden of a large, dark birthmark on his face, which caused the villagers to avoid him, so he had no friends and often felt unlucky. One winter day, Rahman went to the forest with Tommy to collect firewood. While there, Tommy wandered off. Rahman searched for him and eventually found him tugging at his shirt, as if trying to lead him somewhere. Rahman followed and discovered a hut on fire with an unconscious elderly woman nearby. He quickly helped her gain consciousness. The woman, in tears, explained her situation, saying she had nowhere to go and couldn't survive the cold night. Rahman invited her to live with him, saying,
"Be my mother and stay with me."
When they reached home, the elderly woman asked for food. Rahman explained there was none, but she insisted him to check again. To his surprise, he found some cooked rice in the kitchen, though he didn't know how it got there. Assuming a neighbor had left it, he shared the meal with her. That night, Rahman went to bed worrying about what they would eat the next day. However, the next morning, he found a supply of food outside his house. He brought it inside. He was grateful, but puzzled at the same time. Later, when he visited his fields, he was astonished to see his crops flourishing as they never had before. He thanked God for the blessings. Life began improving for Rahman. One night, the elderly woman asked him why he didn't get married. Rahman replied,
"Who would marry me with this mark on my face?"
The next morning, Rahman woke up to find the birthmark was gone. He was shocked and began to suspect that women's presence was behind all the good changes in his life. To find out the truth, he started observing her closely. One night, Rahman saw her sneaking into the forest. He followed her and saw her stop near a pond where a supernatural being appeared, using her to return to the world of the jinns. Seeing this, Rahman became scared and returned home. When the woman came back, he confronted her. She admitted she was a jinn, but reassured him she meant no harm. She explained she had come to the human world for a noble purpose, to find a kind-hearted couple to entrust with her magical ring, which could help people and protect them from evil jinns. She had chosen Rahman because of his kind heart, but told him he needed to find a virtuous wife to fulfill this mission. Rahman agreed and began searching for a kind-hearted woman. He devised a test by dropping money on the road to see who would be honest about it. Many women picked up the money and kept it, but one woman, named as Kiran, refused, saying,
"These are not mine. You should keep them in case the owner comes back."
Later, Kiran helped an old woman, who was actually the jinn in disguise, by taking her home, feeding her, and caring for her when she was sick. Seeing her kindness, the old woman was convinced Kiran was the right choice. Rahman and old woman visited Kiran's house to propose for marriage. By then, the birthmark had reappeared on Rahman's face. Rahman was worried that Kiran might reject him, but she said,
"Outer beauty doesn't matter to me."
They got married and lived happily, even though they had very little food initially, but Kiran never complained and stayed positive. The old woman decided it was time to reveal the truth about her identity and the magical ring. She explained its power to Kiran and entrusted it to the couple, confident they would use it to help others. After giving them the ring, she returned to the world of the jinns. From that day on, Rahman and Kiran dedicated their lives to helping people with the ring's powers, protecting them from harm and bringing goodness to their village.